See if the world ends.
Hmm.
Have we got a theme for today?
uh, well, basically, the theme never changes. All is this already. That's always the theme. All is this already. And that's not a belief, although a belief is it too.
And that's already saying too much.
Well, all is this already. I don't know, you could say too much or too little. If all is this, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
So thinking is this, wondering is this, being confused is this, frustration, everything. Separation is this, feeling of being separate is this. Thinking you found it. Ah, I've got
Ah,
it.
Thinking a glimpse is this, and
Yeah,
and then realizing it is. That it isn't excluded, that nothing is.
exactly. And that cannot be understood intellectually. And that's sort of the seeker's dilemma.
Mm. What can be understood?
Mhm. Well, that's the funny thing. Even if something seems to be understood, it's still this thinking it's understood it. So we never really get anywhere, funny enough. I mean,
Yeah.
it really is a paradox.
Yeah.
Whatever we say, the opposite could be said. So it's not in the words. If you say it's this way, someone can say, well, it's that way. It's this way, it's that way, it's the other way, but if all is this, then suddenly it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
And that's the freedom. Whatever's happening is already this, exactly as it's happening. Even not liking it, that's this too.
Well, wasn't it Carl Jung's whole thing was, the integration of the opposites is what he sort of equated as individuation or wholeness, was like the coming together of, I don't know if I want to say acceptance of opposites, but the integration of them.
Yeah, so I love Carl Jung and the whole shadow thing and the pointing to what we're suppressing, but at the end of the day, there's no real integration because there aren't two things.
Mm.
and yet if you want to integrate, you can integrate.
Yeah, yeah, completely.
Thank you, Stephanie. Damn it.
Just go right ahead.
Yeah, integrate all over the place.
I was just watching this TikTok thing, and this guy was pretending to be a bug like a fly that was caught in a house, a bug that was caught in a house. And like he's flying along and he was like on the phone with his friend going, I'll be there soon. And then like boom, he hits the window, and realize he's stuck in a house. Well, he doesn't know. He actually doesn't know what the deal is. But he's stuck in
Hmm.
a house. I don't know. It's for some reason it rang true on some level, and I'm not sure why. Maybe just because I think this whole delicate nest or whatever it was that Paul was talking about is real. Because I was just asking Manny before the meeting, like if, and again, it's not that this is not real. It's just that it's not what it seems to be, right? But why do we need to have a living trust if if like uh, well, like Tony Parsons was in a meeting and then a German said, "You mean Munich doesn't exist?" Because I guess were not in Munich. And Tony said, "No, Munich does not exist." So if our kids don't exist, I don't know. I just kind of don't understand all that. Like, why are we doing a living trust? Why am I even worried about cleaning stuff out of my house so they won't have to go through it? I just I get mixed up on this stuff.
Yeah. So let's go into that, Stephanie. If the urge to get all your affairs in order, which is quite natural for those of us that are aging, then that's what will happen. You'll just get your affairs in order. If you don't feel to do that, it won't happen.
You're not doing it anyway, Jennifer.
Yeah.
There's no one there doing anything, is there? There's no one here doing anything. I mean, it's just what it is. It just if it appears that way that you're doing a living trust and it appears that you have children, I mean, that's just what's appearing, you know.
So there's no one to know, but what if there was no separate thing called Stephanie or your things or your children or whatever? So it's not that this isn't real, but it's not really separate.
Yes.
Well,
Mm.
Yeah.
okay.
Just a second. That's beautiful. It's not really separate. So really, if you want to bottom line it, there is no separation. It's an appearance. And there's nothing wrong with it. For us to have like the Zoom, there has to be separate little squares for the individual appearance. But look at the entire screen. The entire monitor is one monitor.
Mhm. And the screen's not affected by the appearance.
Yeah.
And
And
it welcomes whatever's happening. And not even welcomes it, it just that's what's happening, like we say.
Well, it's like a movie screen for a movie. It has no dog in the race. Does the screen care if you show a Western or a porno?
It's not, yeah, not personal.
Paul might, but the screen doesn't.
So the
Well,
attachments can be an issue at times, but that's also what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. You can't escape just this. That's the funny thing. Like even trying to escape this is this.
How do I get away from this?
Ah,
who said that?
Uh,
How do I get away?
It's all just description, isn't it? I mean, words don't define anything at all. It's just describing. It's just, there's this wonderful thing called language that's attempting to describe something that can't be described. And, it's amazing. It's breathtaking. It's infinitely entertaining trying to describe itself over and over again, and we kind of, well, we fall for the meaning of words when there is none, and it's beautiful.
Mhm.
Hey, nice pipe, Casey.
Thank you much. Got it from
What you
Gandalf.
got? What you smoking, bird?
Just a little bit of weeds and the girl in the background. The good stuff. I save it for this meeting specifically. It's a special occasion.
Once a week.
Yeah.
So Paul, I keep thinking of your little grandson in that bunk bed going, Grandpa, and then then you're going, my hand is whatever you do. I mean,
There's another
if
thought.
my grandfather had been like that, that would have been so cool. Where you go, my hand's here and it's here and it's yeah. I mean, just
Yeah.
to because the mind or whatever the thing is so flexible at that seems more flexible at that age. But anyway.
I had
Oh,
to
it is.
clarify that to my girlfriend, who's a lurker, to make sure I don't have any grandchildren because there are two Pauls,
Oh,
but
different Paul, different Paul. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't have any illegitimate children.
That you know about.
Well,
I was just gonna say it and I did it.
but
Hmm.
Yeah, the young mind it's incredibly perceptive and flexible and open. And I mean that I meet him there. It's not that it's he kind of takes me there. So it stops me being the serious grown grandpa and all those things. I mean, I don't want to be that, and so he doesn't allow me to be that. It's like time to kind of slap my bald head and jump on me when I'm not looking, and he's just a playful, rambunctious little boy, and it kind of there's no choice for me. I get lost in his energy, and we play and roll around and mess about, and I get up and my son, who's just turned 37, when he comes over, he'll say to Floyd, Floyd, don't do that to Grandpa, leave Grandpa alone. And I'm going, leave him. And he gets up and he goes, he's fine, he can take anything. But my son treats me as if I'm a precious old man, and my grandson throws me around like a rag doll.
Yeah.
Hmm.
How old's your grandson?
He's just turned 8.
Okay, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Good age.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's really at that yeah, that age.
They're a lot of fun, yeah.
So
You keep up.
maybe we could talk a little bit about why that innocence that we seem to all have at birth goes away. Like where did it go? That innocence, that childlike innocence, right? That Paul often shares about with his grandkids. It turned out that
Hmm.
the conditioning appears to obscure it. All the conditioning of society, it's so ubiquitous, and almost everybody buys a ticket, to the show. And it seems it's the rare bird that the world just doesn't seem to cut it. There doesn't seem to be anything here that actually fills the God-shaped hole.
Would you say that in the story, for some children, sort of that comes on very gradually, and for some it comes on sort of all at once, the loss of innocence in that way?
Sure. Yeah. There's no rules. Can happen every way in any way. Yeah.
Well,
I
yeah.
sorry.
Oh, so because Floyd, uh, even though Floyd's father said, treat Grandpa like his age or his resume, Floyd is like playing with your spirit, and he's not pu pushed back or muted down, dumbed down, or muted down by the father, who's
Mm,
the
mm.
father's concerns. He's just,
Yeah.
grandpa can take it, and so he's still got that. He hasn't been dampened down. His
Mm,
his spirit.
mm.
So little kid. So even when a child is young, it's like they already another child might have been just, oh, okay, so like I won't do that to grandpa anymore. It's like the personalities are so different. I don't know why that is.
Yeah.
Conditioning
Mhm.
again, conditioning.
You
Well,
know, I
go for it. Yep.
I work a lot with men that have addictions and have had trauma and things like this. And I ran a weekend retreat and for 13 men, and the whole premise of the retreat was, where did your innocence go? And in my own story over here, I can point to the exact moment that it went, because my father, he he came home one day and shouted me to the top of the stairs. He said, "Sit down." We sat on the stairs together. I was 11 years old, and I mean, I won't use the word, but he asked me if I masturbated, and I was absolutely horrified. As no, no, no. And he said, "Well, you should do. It's good for you." And the next day, he came home with 2 porn magazines in a brown bag and gave those to me. That was my innocence went that day. And when I went, this journey of self-discovery and all this, there's a point at which this just hit me like a truck. It's that sudden loss of innocence, and then the kind of unraveling and the seeing that it's here. I haven't lost anything. There was just a story that I believed in for nearly 40 years that said I'd lost something, and then you suddenly realize I didn't lose anything at all. But so many people with addictions and trauma, they are so lost in that trauma, and pointing out to them that the innocence is still here. It hasn't gone anywhere.
Mhm.
It's profound. There is beauty and there is necessity in this kind of healing work, even though we know what this is. It just appears that some people need it and some people benefit from it, and it's just, yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but innocence, yeah, it's a biggie for blokes, very much so, I think.
Well, if
That
if you take a look at society, it is set up to conform.
Mm.
So since day one, I remember trying to be a good student, trying to be a good Boy Scout, you try and fit in, and you don't realize it, but you're being conditioned into thinking you're separate, and you're trying to fit in as best you can. And what you may discover is it doesn't work.
Mm.
was that a trauma, Paul, or was that, I mean, it's interesting. Some people can have a memory like that and feel like it was something exciting or something, and then for some that might be a trauma.
I think it was the initial question was horrifying. It
Yeah.
came for me with, because it was a very violent childhood, so it came to me as if there was this big stick of guilt that was saying, "Do you do this?" And I was horrified that my dad thought that that's what I was doing. And of course, I was getting to a point in my life where things were changing, but it was horrifying. The fear and the terror that came with the question, and the no, I don't. And then this sudden change. Well, his actual words. I remember the whole scenario really, and I don't have very many clear memories of my childhood. But he said, "Well, you fucking should do. It's good for you." It's exactly what he said. And then there was, the next day when magazines are there, then there was this, kind of excitement and fear, and it's like inquisitiveness, and oh my, what is all that came with that. But that became for me anyway, in the story, it became an abnormal obsession. Ended up being married 3 times, and I had, yeah, there's so much in my life that was, sorry.
Oh, I think it's background noise, maybe.
background noise.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Paul, that's so
Yeah.
interesting
So
to say that, man, because that time where it was like traumatic for you, or you felt guilt, you said guilty. So
yeah. Yeah.
my son was like 4, I think, or 5 or 6 or something when I first heard about non-duality, and now he's 10. And one thing we never did was guilt him for anything or blame him for anything, just in our parenting style. Instead, we just brought it up neutrally. Like,
Mm,
here is why this is bad because it's rude.
mm,
We're not like,
mm,
you are rude. And so that was an interesting test in my head. We never said you, we never said this is your fault, none of
mm,
that stuff.
mm.
And now he still has no concept fully of him. It's very interesting.
That's
Like,
good.
he
Yeah.
doesn't know how to feel guilty because
Mm.
we haven't done it yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's there's a weightlessness there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's still like a baby freedom about him in a weird way.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm.
Yeah.
It'll
So
be
you said,
interesting to see how that changes.
Like, he flipped me off today.
ah,
But it's just so funny. So he's 10 years old and he's so innocent still. And so I'm playing games with him, and I look at the screen because we FaceTime when we're playing games. And I look at the screen and he's putting his head down like this and he has this big smile on his face. And then I see this finger start rising from the bottom of it. And it's like, and he's like trying to hide it so his mom can't see. And I'm like, River,
Oh, that's
that's
cool.
funny,
That's
man. But
cool,
don't do
man.
that. Oh yeah, but it was just so funny to like see the
Yeah.
innocence behind it, and
Yeah.
no
Such a
shade.
difference to say, sorry,
Now I'm done.
such a difference to say to someone that like a behavior can be perceived as rude by people than to say you are rude. That's who you are.
Mm.
Difference in feeling between those two statements.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Ugh.
One thing I did with particularly with my youngest two daughters who are 12 and 15 was, I would never, I would say to them, never apologize. Don't say I'm sorry, and don't expect an apology. If you feel like hurt because something, then just say, look, I love you, I'm just feeling this way. But if you can approach it in that way, it softens the feeling. And then when you look into it, the moment you say sorry to somebody, there is a sense of giving power away, surrendering. It's like owning something and then saying, look, did I make you feel this way? Because I really didn't mean to. Looking at it from that kind of neutral way, just expressing the feeling of it. And that seems to have, it means that we can have really open conversations, which you can imagine I do anyway. But I've never talked to them as if they were children with children's language. We speak in whatever context, and they come along quite quickly. So
That's really beautiful. Wow.
well, it just appears that way. That's also the, when you, that's I think one of the things that I found as the most profound experience, when you suddenly just start to hear these words, and then it's like, well, who's saying this? And there's just these words appearing, and it's like, wow. And then sometimes they're quite shocking, and then there's that sense of, wow, that's awesome, I'm going to write that down, that sounds really good.
Yes. Yes.
It kind of depends on the character, you know,
Yeah.
you could say.
What's that called? Unlearning, unbelieving, unknowing. What's the process of going back to innocence called?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
There a name for it? Non-duality?
I don't think so.
But I love how we're talking about basically essentially these like root elements of like going back to you, Michael. I think even before going off talking about innocence and things, it was, I can't remember actually, but I liked it. It was good, whatever it was.
well, it's very subtle because you wouldn't suspect language is the culprit, but language is how you learn to divide this all up.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a quote.
Yeah.
Put that on
I
his.
mean, that's all there is, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's the
good,
only
man.
the only conflict is language.
And it even says in the Bible, in the beginning,
You.
in the beginning was the Word.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And the word
Yeah.
was God.
And so I've looked at this a lot. I sat with that a lot, and I was playing around with it. I've written some stuff about it as well. That very, and it's like, but because of the word, there is a beginning.
Yeah.
There is no beginning
Beautiful.
unless you've got a word,
Yeah.
Yes, it literally created everything, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
All the concepts about it.
Yeah. Well, the original Koine Greek, it says logos. It doesn't say the word, it says logos, but it's reasoning. So really, what it's actually saying is the thinking. It's thinking, reasoning, analyzing, criticizing. That's kind of where it's headed for, So yeah, it's thinking.
And the word is God is also true. Right, Don? He, also this.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Don?
Yeah, how you doing?
Sort of sad. I'm sad for the assassination that happened today.
Same here, man.
Really sad about it. Really sad. So
The Utah one?
yeah.
Yeah, that was super heavy for me too before this meeting. I was like borderline at tears. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's like disappointed and stuff. A lot of stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
That brings up like the end of innocence, that kind of a thing, because the wonderment of a child doesn't have any words that are tied to a personal uh, agenda in anything. Then the words come up, and then time comes up, and then sides are drawn.
Like
So
when,
that
yeah.
yeah.
It's like when Adam or whoever like took the apple and the Christian methodology, like took the fruit of the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Eve did it.
Well, whoever did it, it takes knowledge though. Like here's what yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. And then but it's the tree that takes away their innocence,
Yes, that
gives
right.
them knowledge.
Yeah. It was
There's
so
some kind of
innocent.
tie-in with that.
Yeah, it was so innocent.
They were
That
innocent.
dirty serpent.
The
It
tree,
was
there's nothing wrong with the tree. It kind of, I don't know.
well, Eve did nothing wrong.
No one did anything wrong.
She didn't know it was she was in a way she was tricked, right? She thought,
Yes.
that's all of us are so innocent. And the language seems so innocent. But what language does is it gives you the ability to divide things up into categories in your mind. So suddenly with language, like you said, Paul, good and bad, beginning and end suddenly appear.
Eve is I mean in one sort of interpretation, the Garden of Eden is the right brain. The it's not the thinking, reasoning, algorithmic center. It's the right brain, which is the whole. And then the bridge across to the left hemisphere, the corpus callosum, in some ways represents the serpent and the temptation, which is, you can have anything you want in this garden, but you can't eat from that tree. And it's like that, the introduction of this, no, you can't eat from this tree, is this well, why not? And that intrigue, that inquisitiveness kind of pops Eve across the bridge into the left hemisphere, which is all language. So it's kind of, it's showing that the way that the brain works, at some point it moves out away from the brain stem into the right hemisphere, and then ultimately from around the age of 4, it starts to use more of the left hemisphere for reasoning, for logic, and for thinking. And then by the time we kind of hit 7, that language center is fully adapted. And then at 14, the real self-imaging takes place. And it's at that age as a teenager when everything becomes personal. This world out there, which parents have said it's small and the family is our world, it's suddenly it's massive. And then as a teenager, we look and go, you've been keeping this world away from me. You've said world is family and, you know, Sunday dinners and going out for and birthdays. And it's like, and out there's this wonderful thing, you know, it's like, yeah, well, now you've had the apple. That's it. Innocence has gone. You've got this whole world now that you're going to classify and make things of and experience. And it's all in your mind. It's all mind anyway. This is all mind. This is all mind, isn't it?
I have a story, everybody. I tell it. So it was yet another journey outside.
All right.
And I was skateboarding around, doing my thing. I was about to go skateboarding more, and then suddenly there was a yoga session, and I was like, "What?" So I was very like excited by it. I just joined all the ladies, and I was doing yoga. But then like right when it started, the lady was like, "All right, everybody." I was feeling so relaxed. They were like, "Now I need you to think of some words in your mind and set an intention for this meeting, for this yoga session, some positive affirmations." And like my brain just went silent. And I was like, hell no. And then yeah, I was just so silent. And then I was just thinking, I was like, is this how people live? Is that they're like, this is how they get their fulfillment, is that they live on positive words instead of actually this direct experience of life? Is that like, what are words gonna do? They're nothing. They're meaningless. They're bull crap, little fucking nothingness. They don't even fucking matter. So I'm like, why are we? It's just like we're building our fulfillment on these fucking words, and like, what is that gonna even do for you? You know? Yeah.
You could have roasted her so good with that one.
I had this image of you doing yoga on a skateboard. I've got to be honest.
I did. I was like, I had a skateboard and I was trying to do it a little bit, but then I gave up. It was funnier. Skateboard yoga. Yeah.
So cool.
So, you can sense that the whole society is based on progress. We were all taught as children and praised for being hard workers. Remember that on your report card? Oh, he's a hard worker. She's a good listener. You were praised for your obedience. All of us were. And we
Really though, like exactly. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, go sing it, mama. So
He's fresh out of it.
Yeah.
In it still, out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can start to notice it. Like you can begin to, because here that's what I would say waking up is when something feels off about the world. Something in you can no longer comply.
Mm.
The red light.
I
Yeah.
remember when I first found non-duality, I had this explosion of non-compliance. It was insane. And it ended me in a mental hospital because it was just an explosion of non-compliance. And when I was in the mental hospital, I just kept screaming and doing cartwheels and running everywhere and like screaming at all the therapists, like getting mad at them, like none of this fucking matters. You can't tell me what the fuck to do. Why am I being told what to do when I'm supposed to be taken care of in a fucking mental hospital? I'm like, just kept going off. It was crazy. And then I just genuinely just stopped giving a fuck. I like didn't really care anymore. But like there's just like this intensity of not wanting to comply and doing the most craziest shit just to not comply almost.
Did it feel like you got it out of your system kind of all at once?
Yeah. Yeah. And I also just saw I'm like, there's no point to this, you know. I don't really need to do this.
Really interesting story. That's cool. Yeah, it like all came out. Oh.
Yeah, Michael, you were talking about opposites, and I was thinking of Adam and Eve, and after the apple and all that, uh, they were hiding from God because they felt they were naked and they had to find clothing. They've been
Yeah,
naked,
that's a good point.
and then they said, God says to them, why are you hiding from me? He said, well, we were naked and ashamed. And now where did all of that come from, right? All of a sudden, they've been naked the whole time, and now
Yeah.
they're ashamed.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Henry, that's
Wow.
gorgeous. That's
Yeah.
that's exactly it. Until self-consciousness showed up on the scene, people were naked and it wasn't no thing.
Right,
They didn't know shame. They didn't know to be embarrassed.
right.
And then suddenly when self-consciousness
Mm.
enters the room,
Yeah.
suddenly I'm modest. I'm looking for fig leaves.
Right.
And that was the game changer. That you could say was the moment of innocence that was lost, the self consciousness, which is why here it felt so horrible. That sense of separation was so painful. And something here just didn't buy it. Something intuitively felt all is one, even if I can't explain it.
Yeah.
And the conditioning of in school is, oh, you're a hard worker, Henry, because there's those lazy ones over there, see?
Mm-hmm.
Be a hard worker, but went for the lazy ones. And now you go, oh, well, we need the lazy ones then to be a hard worker. And whole things that created you're going to choose the hard work story, right? And then, yeah, it's all of a sudden, ooh, you're in for quite a ride.
It's I've written a little bit on this one actually. I've just had a quick look in my book, and it's under a little title called "The Loss of Innocence."
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's not very long. If I can read it,
Please.
Yes.
In Eden before the fall, there was no knowledge because there was no need for it. Not in the way that we understand knowledge today. Adam and Eve did not know God; they were in God, not as an idea, not as a subject relating to an object, but as an indivisible presence, a seamless unfolding of being itself. There was no need to seek because nothing was missing. There's no need to name because nothing was separate. No need to remember because nothing was lost. This was innocence, not ignorance, but a reality undivided by time, identity, or distinction. And then came the knowledge of good and evil, the first thought, I am other. And the eyes of them both were opened, and they knew that they were naked. And that's from Genesis 3:7. There's a bit more to it, but I thought I've written something about this. So, yeah.
I'm gonna read that book. That's
But also, I love the Genesis stuff. From what I remember, God creates Adam one. He creates the oneness in Adam, the one. But then, as Adam is just being one, God says, it's not good that Adam should be alone. So I will make another as a helpmate to Adam. And so he takes Eve from Adam, from the one, from his rib, or just from him, and now you have two.
So
as a helpmate. So therefore, God is the creator of the oneness and the creator of the dual. He makes the first separation. It's not human.
Yeah.
like
But
God created duality. He created
Yes.
the double, actually.
Yeah.
I think,
He created it.
He created all this, actually, the good and the bad.
Right.
Yeah.
He created it. So a loss of innocence is like is of God. For whatever reason, I have no idea. But the loss of innocence and the conditioning is of the Tao. So, and if it is of God or the Tao, it cannot be bad. It cannot be wrong. It cannot be that we lost our innocence, so to speak, as something wrong, except that we interpret it that way.
You get, yeah, dude.
It's the in
Dead on.
the Gnostic theology. They talk about the schism. Well, if Adam is atom and the atom is split, then you have light, and then you have this. You have the beginning of creation, the splitting of the atom, which is the duality. Eve becomes the spinning around the atom, and then you've got light, and you've got this thing called creation.
Where's that come from?
Oh, that's my thoughts. But in the Gnostic theology, they talk about a schism, which there was the void, and then it ripped open, introducing light, and which then meant space and time. But yeah, and when you look at language, Adam, most things you can bring them back to just their sound. So Adam is atom, and anything like anything that sounds like bull is Taurus. The bull apple is Taurus, and then an apple forms a Taurus field. All these things. All language comes down to really, really simple stuff when you start to study it.
But this loss of innocence, Michael, that you were referring to in the beginning is an illusion, correct? We are all, I mean,
We're
we
still
are
innocent.
innocent, and there is only this innocence. Yes?
Yeah.
Apples
could
don't
they
do
be?
anything to you. Perceived knowledge. We're still innocent. Is my I feel passion for that because my whole life I've been guilted about how I need to come back with from some fall to be back with God and be perfect again. No one told me I was already perfect on my flaws, and I have no work to do.
You are more than
In
perfect,
fact,
Casey.
like not only no work but no guilt on top of it. Like
Yeah.
anyway, it feels more innocent.
Yeah. So we could say a few words about that, Casey, about the innocence. You're already the innocence. So, but when we go to mind, when we go to thought, suddenly we're in trying to figure it out. In innocence, what you are cannot be figured out.
Yeah, there's only this one perfect thing appearing as all of it, not only the good stuff and the positive thoughts and the affirmations, but the dog shit and the back pain and the mental hospitals and all of it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And on the surface, it sounds like we don't want to hear about the bad stuff, but actually, it's the full palette. It's the yin and the yang. It's the light and the
Movies are
dark.
made of.
It's
All the
balance.
movies are made on the bad stuff. Yeah.
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 Hate that concept. You don't feel the good as deeply without that contrast of the
But you
bad.
can't have one without the other. Hot doesn't exist without cold. So that, as long as we're in the dualistic mind, we're constantly flip-flopping when we just want the good. When you see that all is this, the label good and bad suddenly doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So is it the belief of thought? The thought that comes up takes away the wonderment of this moment without the thought. Seems to. It doesn't really, but it seems to because my attention or I'm noticing what the thought is pointing to. And so it gets caught up in thinking that it needs to follow that trace of thought. And it just it gets caught up in emotions and feelings, and there becomes a me. And then and then the opposites are right there. Just like you're saying, it's just the opposites are created with that first thought.
Yeah. And there's a real freedom here because then all practices are it too. So if you want to meditate, if you want to spend time in silence, if you want to observe your thoughts, you're welcome to do anything you like. It's all this. So it literally doesn't matter what you do.
Exactly.
Yeah, and even the thought is this too.
Yeah.
So is that thought.
Yeah.
And that
It's the scalability of things, isn't it? So that scale of hot and cold. There is no defined hot. There is no defined cold. It's just a scale of of some arbitrary thing that says, oh, I like cold showers every morning. I go to the bottom of my garden and have a cold shower. But for me, that's not cold. It's refreshing. For other people, it's like, I wouldn't dare go and have a cold shower, but it's just, yeah, it's just description. It's all just description. But the scalability falls away. I think that's what I'm getting to. Being at one end of the scale, at the other end of the scale, it just starts to die off. And then you realize, well, yeah, that's just, it's a preference. The character has a preference. And you can work through them, change them. The conditioning can fall away, or it can be worse. It can get a lot worse.
So there are characters appearing.
Apparently.
Yeah, apparently. And they have their preferences.
Yeah.
And we have these little preferences so that I could appear special to others.
You are special, Manny.
Yeah, you're all
We
special.
love you.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, like, I am inclined to have hot sauce all the time. Really hot sauce.
This is your second time talking about this. You must really like hot sauce.
But Paul is talking about, cold shower. I remember when I went into cold. I did this retreat with these men, and we went in this creek, and it was ice over it. That's how cold it was.
Yeah.
And we went in there and spent 3 minutes dunked in there.
Yeah.
And some people couldn't do it. But it's just a mental thing, though. It's all mind. It's almost like when you relax to whatever is happening, you just, okay, I'm not going to resist it. The resistance causes me to fight everything, to resist, to fight life.
So it's not you resisting. It's
No. It's energy.
Word.
No, I
or not.
Resistance is this too.
Yeah.
Is resistance as much this as bliss is.
Yeah.
We are Borg. Resistance is futile.
That's exactly
right.
what I was thinking. Resistance is futile.
Yeah, the Borg.
The Borg.
But that's it, because I was told acceptance is the answer to all my problems. See? And yet you go to the opposite of it, because the opposite wouldn't be there without the acceptance. The resistance wouldn't be there. And so it's one thing. If I believe in one, I'm attracting the other because they're not two.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever it is, whether you accept it or you reject it, just do it fully. It all leads to futility.
Commit.
Yeah,
totally.
Before we close out tonight, I just wanted to say a few words about, you can notice that if I say there's nothing wrong with you, there's nothing wrong with you.
Thanks, Michael.
Yeah. No, really. It's such a simple thing, but it's almost unbelievable. Like, really? There's really nothing wrong with me? No, there's not.
Dude, don't tell the self-help industry that.
Destroy the whole economy, Michael. The whole thing will come down.
You got it. Dude, I wrote the book. I wrote a 525-page book on motivational speaking. What a joke.
You did?
I did. I
What's it
interviewed
called?
Tony. It was called Success Secrets of the Motivational Superstars. I interviewed Tony Robbins, Wayne Dyer, all the big speakers of the time. And the thing is, if you have to motivate yourself over and over to do something, that's a pretty big clue you don't want to do it. If you have a piece of chocolate cake in front of you, you don't need any motivation.
But someone
Yeah.
told me it's not good to eat the cake.
It doesn't matter. It
There's
doesn't
no
matter.
guilt. Well,
It doesn't matter. Eat the
doesn't
cake or
matter.
don't. It doesn't. That's a freedom, guys. It literally doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That puts an end to support groups too. You know, all these groups are created to support this insanity. I don't know.
Or what Michael is saying allows for all of this.
Yeah. Say.
Everything is allowed.
Yeah.
Everything is allowed in this field.
Yes.
You could say it doesn't matter, but like there's still a lot of care here and a lot of empathy. And like I would never have the urge to hurt someone or anything like that. And that's because it matters to me or something.
Beautiful.
Like it doesn't, it's not like it's not that nihilistic thing. It doesn't matter.
No.
I'll go out and
Right.
murder a bunch of people, like I can't even freaking like I don't know, do like the smallest little thing to hurt someone or I'll feel badly. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Addie, same here. If I see a spider, I do everything I can to I don't want to kill it. Like everything,
they're so cool. Why would you want to?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
bugs are epic, guys. I love bugs.
Yeah.
Thank you, Addie, for saying that. Thank you so much. That was deep. That was deeper than non-duality.
The bug thing, bugs. I know, right?
It's beautiful. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Anytime anytime you're playing, I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I could be doing.
Yeah.
But this is play for me. It's fun.
Yoga on a skateboard.
Yeah, we develop a character and it's afraid to play.
Yeah. You're an adult now.
Yeah.
Better grow up, kid.
I've got a cousin that said he's 42 and he comes and stays with his daughter every now and again. And he said to me, well, I've never been an adult. He said, I've only ever pretended at being an adult. He said, I don't know what to be an adult. And, and he meant it. He's so serious. He's like, I don't know what it is. I just pretend.
Yeah.
He says, I'm a kid.
Yeah.
You got it right.
Well, who doesn't know their age? Like inside, you don't know how old you are. Like you don't feel an age. I don't feel a number. I know what the body has, maybe you could say has a number, but what you actually are, does it not feel timeless?
Yes.
Yeah. Got to think about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Manny, I just see you as like a friggin' 27-year-old, like on not a starship, on like a jet. I'm thinking of like what's that jet fighter show that's very popular? You know what it is?
Star Wars?
And it's like a classic in the classic.
Manny does look cool. Like his hair is like, I don't know.
Anyways,
Cool look.
I was just picturing you like awesome, like, and that's how you are right now. And to me, I'm not saying that. You look younger as we're talking. I'm telling you. No, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Casey, because earlier I was kind of looking at everyone when we first started, and I thought everyone looks younger this week. It's just, I was just like, wow, and then we get into this conversation about innocence, and I just thought, well, this energy is already there. It's already screaming innocence and youth at me. It was just, yeah.
Top Gun.
Top Gun.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise.
Top Gun.
Top Gun.
Yeah.
Top Gun.
Yeah, this energy, it's very attractive. This energy, it's very very welcoming.
Yeah.
So you already are this energy because there's only this energy.
And it seems like the energy is also expressed in the matrix in different parts of it. Mentally, we can think that way. It's just is. But I guess what I'm saying is that the Matrix has the good, the bad, the this and that. The expressions of the aliveness is being projected on this screen of life.
Yeah. Yeah. So the movie continues. The dream doesn't end upon awakening.
Yeah.
And it's just seen for what it is, that there is no anyone controlling it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
When
a
you said,
relief.
oh yeah, when you said, Michael, there's nothing wrong with you, I was sat there, I was sat here going, but there's no me. You know, it's like the feeling is what you are you talking about, because that's not hitting anything.
Mhm.
It's like there's nothing wrong with you. It's like, what's this you?
Yeah. Beautiful.
Mhm.
You know, and it's that, isn't it? It's like the absence of that sense of who is this we're talking about.
Yeah, and it goes both ways, neither no credit, no blame.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's so beautiful because you realize in society how addicted we are to credit and blame. We're running from blame and we're, running toward credit. And
Yeah.
when all of a sudden what do you want as we end tonight's meeting? What is the most important thing to you? Whatever time this body has left, do it. Do what makes you
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
Why not?
Right.
Right.
Most definitely.
I'm
Yes.
looking for dancing lessons. I was looking earlier, so yeah, I'm there with you, brother.
All right. Thank you guys, each and every one of you, so
Yeah,
much. What a
looking forward.
lovely group you are. I love you guys. Mwah.
Love you
Hi,
too.
Michael.
Love you.
Hi, everyone.
Bye, everyone.